Yeah.
Oh.
Reminds me. I still have these cards from.
Well, I'm back home now. So what's going on, everybody? I'm the one, the only, the WOOKIE. Joined here by my normal compatriots. We have the guy who's better than you, Cole Robbie. Hello, guys. We got everyone's favorite kid who gets kicked out of things, Dexter.
Hello, everybody.
And Felix.
I'm on and about.
He's out and about, as the Canadians say. Got some stuff and things to go over today. Hold on, my daughter. What do you want, daughter?
I want a hug.
Oh, you want a hug? Come here, I'll give you a hug. Come here.
I love you.
How sweet.
You got a feature.
Yeah. Yeah, she wants a hug, so I'm gonna give her a hug. Is that cool with everybody?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair.
Cool beans. I'm hugging my daughter because she needed a hug. Might be something with, I think we gave her $20, but you know.
No, we didn't.
Long gone are the days of no hugs, only handshakes with fathers.
Yeah, nope. Now it's thanks for $20, but stuff and things have happened. Me and Dexter are back from forging all of our keys. Some forged more than others.
I did not forge that many keys.
And some of us did well and some of us didn't. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about Altered, right? And all the stuff and things that Altered can bring, the joy Altered can bring into your life.
All the altered stuff and things.
All the Altered stuff and things. And I just want to give a PSA to everyone out there. If you are teaching a friend to play Altered, do not give them the shit deck. That's all I got to say. Capiche?
Well, you should always learn to always pick Muna.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna say that.
Listen here, Cole Robbie. I have a bone to pick with you, sir.
No bones.
No. Stop it. But we did have the May 21st AMA. It happened on May 21st. Weird story, which was a Wednesday, by the way. For those of you who understand who the comedian Dane Cook is.
I don't think
Actually, yes.
Anymore.
What did you say?
I have crossed the train tracks
anymore.
You keep talking at the same time. Cole, you talk first. What?
I said I don't think he exists anymore.
He does exist. Why are you so quiet? Are you like across the room?
No, I'm talking right into my mic.
Are you really? Okay, I gotta crank you up. For some reason, you are like quieter than quiet. I've now cranked you up.
Okay, I won't touch anything.
You're good for me, Cole.
I've cranked you up. We're good. We're good.
All right. And I think Felix referenced that he had passed the train tracks and something about the tree or something.
Yeah, I crossed the train tracks, and I have gone too far.
Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go, into the World Championship qualifiers. Wow, that didn't work out at all. So, May 1st, May 1st AMA, we do talk a little bit about World Championship qualifiers. This is kind of cool for Altered players if you have the need to qualify for the World Championships.
Yep. Are you guys going to have the need to qualify?
I might have the need, but I don't know if I have the skill.
So
my skill in Altered is lacking. So I think what needs to happen here is I need to run the gauntlet with Cole Robbie and just play thousands of games between now and like middle of June.
Okay, I think you'll have until beginning of August. Actually, is Baltimore closer to you? It's got to be, right?
You know what's funny is Baltimore is closer to me, and Baltimore, the place that it's not Tumult. What are they calling these?
The WCQ for short.
Yeah,
WCQ.
They don't have like some fun name like Uber Tumult or something like that. They didn't come up with a name. Because we have the Timults, which are like store championships. I'm surprised they didn't come up with a name for it.
I don't think so yet, because this is just getting Worlds out of the way for this year.
This is getting. I feel like this is getting the monkey off their back. No.
Maybe a little bit. A lot of people that know competitive TCGs know that it's actually really early for them to have a Worlds already. I think they wanted to do what they called like the Confluence or something. It was mentioned a time or two.
Yeah, that's what it was called. The Confluence. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so I think they're still working on that. But since they had kind of already mentioned having a Worlds
Now they're roped into it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's still a very cool setup, very awesome. It's already happening, but I think and hope the Confluence type event will still happen maybe next year.
But what's weird is what's funny. Okay, so the same store that will be holding the world to the WCQs is the same store that will be holding the Vault Tour for Keyforge, just in different months.
What month?
When is Baltimore Dex? Is that it's the month right before.
That's
so
like a month.
Baltimore, yeah, it's not May, it's not June. I think it's July. I want to say July something or other. I can double check that. But it's literally the same store, and Games and Stuff is a very cool store. From what I've heard. I've never been, but from all the people that have been there, very, very cool store, very, very friendly staff. I think there's an awesome taco place around the corner, if I remember correctly. I don't know. I think it was it was either tacos or seafood. I can't remember which one, but
well, you'll have to look it up if you're going there.
Yeah.
But that part's just kind of a little recap, because I believe we talked about it on a previous
We
episode.
didn't talk about it. Me and the boys from A Hero's Guide to Asgartha talked about it, because y'all were like at PAX or something. Because
the royal
you're all a bunch of losers.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I don't know. It might have been a story I just made up.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
But yeah.
New Adventure Pass?
What are you saying?
Oh, what am I saying about what?
You're skipping already to a new Adventure Pass?
Well, that's what's next on the list. Oh, I did skip. I did. I'm sorry. My apologies. I did skip. I had it just to the thing, and I'm like, all right, we're done with this, and I kept scrolling. Right now, we have the Whispers from the Maze demo deck tournament. Now, this is the one with people from Equinox, correct?
Or no? Correct-ish, yes.
Correct-ish, okay. Tell me all about it. I'm interested.
Yeah, so the only other thing real quick on the World Championship qualifiers, this'll be good to know. There will be a board game arena opportunity. We don't know when yet, but the demo deck tournament is actually our first test in doing that. And if you don't know, I am also on the admin team for AWOL, and AWOL is going to be the one hosting the demo deck tournament with help from Equinox. Mainly Cedric, but of course, some of the other team is involved in, writing up the article that announced it, providing some key art and things like that for the stream graphics, which I've been working on all week, basically every night. I don't think my friend listens to the podcast, but I've been so busy and so deep in it, I didn't even know what day it was. I looked at the calendar today and realized I did not tell him happy birthday. So sorry for that, but
well, let's do it now.
Yep.
Who are we wishing happy birthday to? Cedric?
Jake.
Jake, happy birthday, Jake.
All right.
Happy birthday, Jake.
Well, it's Tuesday. By the time he gets this, it's Tuesday. But just know we record on Friday. So just know you were thought of. It's the thought that counts.
Exactly. So One of the first things we learned is that there is actually a maximum participant cap on
Yep.
all BGA tournaments of 512. So even if we had wanted to have the tournament be more than that, we couldn't have. But also, 4 out of like 5 of us did not think that a 512 person demo deck tournament would fill up when we were
In 10
first,
minutes.
less than that,
But-
but
Well, like 8 minutes or so, yeah.
Well,
And I
hold
was in
on.
bed when the signups went live, so I
Yeah.
completely missed it.
Well,
Yeah.
hold on. Like, these are new starter decks. This is like, I don't know. It
Yeah.
feels kind of like a big deal. No, is it just the Wookiee? It feels
Yeah,
like
it is a big deal.
too?
There's a good amount of prizing for it too.
Well, that
Yeah.
too. But
Well,
like,
yeah.
we haven't seen new starter decks since Beyond the Gates, right?
Yeah.
We went into Trials by Frost, no new starter decks, and now we're getting new starter
Well,
decks. So
These are technically not starter decks, they're demo decks for the next set.
True.
So they won't be pre-cons, they're only on BGA.
these aren't available for purchase.
No.
That's kind of a
Not
bummer.
yet.
Let me buy one.
Yeah.
Just let me buy one, Equinox. Let me buy
You
two.
can buy one by just getting all the cards. The deck lists are available readily online, and you can
Dexter,
craft the deck
why
pretty
do you,
easily.
Dexter. I am giving an Equinox an opportunity to make a buck off me. Let them make $1 off me. I'm dumb. I don't know, and I just want to give them money.
Okay.
Let me do it. All right. Thanks, Dexter.
So,
Appreciate you.
I will say Keelan guy was the only one that expected this would happen. When we were first planning it, my bet was literally 318 people. I think the biggest BGA tournament we have seen before now was 180, maybe. I could actually pull up 39 cards and double check. But there's also this feeling that people have of BGA being really highly competitive, tournaments being, super competitive and not wanting to join. So I was like, this is a pretty cool thing. This is a pretty big deal. It's, in conjunction with Equinox. I think
I think it's
318.
okay. I would have said like 400s, but I think the biggest pull probably is just because Equinox themselves like officially advertised it on the Altered website, so the most people are going to see that.
That's what I was gonna say. I got the feeling that it was definitely gonna fill up very, very fast. Because a 512 player count for a worldwide event that is also co-sponsored by the company itself is very big. This is not a localized event like we usually have.
And you're giving away some cool
and
stuff.
I guess my thought process was all of the tournaments are wide open to the whole world and promoted on BGA. But I guess the like you said, the article put out by Equinox really did blast it wide open. After that article came out and we saw how many people were joining the Discord, I was like, okay.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
a lot of people hopped into the AWOL Discord. It was kind of crazy.
And now you have all sorts of different languages being spoken in there.
Yeah. So once that happened, I was like, okay, this is going to fill up. I still did not imagine it would fill up in basically 5 minutes because we found another little issue with BGA. It's not really an issue, but if you don't select what players can play based on like beginner, blah blah blah, whatever, which you can't even select the bottom two because you have to have 100 elo. If you don't, it sets the tournament link as private for some reason.
Yeah.
I have a question. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
This is just Wookiee thinking out loud. Having dealt with internet stuff most of my life, has BGA ever held a 512 person event?
I honestly
like on
don't
anything?
actually know.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I don't think so. I'd be surprised.
That's a lot. See, like, that's a lot of
You think
people
it's gonna
online
crash?
all at the same time. Plus everything else you have going on, because BGA just doesn't host Altered; they host all sorts of
the
stuff.
client hosts other stuff too.
So you're gonna have 512 Altered players plus whatever else is going on BGA.
And the spectators and so on.
Oh God!
Yep.
I didn't even think about the spectators. Oh my God!
Yep. So that is why this is a huge first test. And we actually went to like the BGA team. Well, Cedric did, and I was like, "Hey, currently, if one person joins a tournament, you can't change anything. Can you let us increase the player count?" And they were like, "Actually, 512 is the absolute maximum." So my hope is they will see how big Altered is on BGA. BGA is also owned by Asmodee.
Correct.
I am sure they have made a not unsubstantial increase in premium subscriptions because of Altered, because
Yeah.
I have a premium because of Altered.
I have
All of the
I don't even use mine. I have a premium because of Altered.
We're
yeah,
pretty close to getting ourselves one too.
Yeah.
yeah. I hope this lights a fire for them to put more effort into the actual, because the individual game developers on BGA are amazing. Like Vincent, the lead developer for Altered, it's not even his main job, but he's amazing.
Aren't all BGA people volunteers?
It's kind of an interesting system. There's like sometimes a company can like hire you a little bit to develop the game at first, and then from there you get some kind of like revenue share based on how many games that you develop on BGA or something. I know that they don't get paid nothing, but I know that it is not near enough for how much
They get
work
paid in
that they
high
probably
fives
put
and
in.
butt slaps.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
And
kind
credit.
of like you know, all those like gaming news blogs and things like that. Like what's the comic one that is super big? Anyways, I feel like it's kind of like that where they have to write like 12 articles a day and then they get paid based on how many clicks.
A bag of rice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, those are all. That hustle is something else. But yeah, I know what one you're talking about, and it's
yep.
bananas. But how cool is that? That like in 5 minutes, 512, well, more than 512, because some people didn't get in. People rushed out to like support. I guess support's the easiest way to say it. Support this game. I really wish, I don't see it in the article, and maybe that's hidden somewhere. And I'm sure this is information someone has, maybe not readily available, but somewhere. What the like world demographic was. Like, was it mainly European countries that were doing a lot of the signups? Was it, was there a good American show out? Was there, North America? Where is everybody hailing from? I guess is my big question, to see kind of like to get the hot take on where everybody's coming out of.
Yeah, that is a good question. I might be able to annoy Tom to see if that's a statistic he can pull.
Somewhere somebody can pull that statistic. It's just whether they want to put the time and effort into doing it.
Yeah, Tom already is the one who created 39cards.com, so he already scrapes BGA data basically. Just currently, I don't think it notes the player's country. But
don't you select your region and nationality when you sign up for BGA? I think I did. I don't remember now.
Yeah, everyone that in BGA has their nationality listed.
Yeah, so I mean that seems like a thing that should be semi-easily available.
That you could,
yeah,
it just hasn't been done yet.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
Get on it, Tom.
Tom.
Get on it.
Yeah, I'll bug Tom. Because we'll see.
It's his own time, but
Yeah, I'm sure I'll work with him on something for the event. Because I also help out with admin stuff on 39 cards. I don't know why I do this to myself.
Man, they
but
cutting you a check yet, bro?
Who's they?
Anybody?
No.
Well, I know we're not, so.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, I just got charged for the website. So if you want to help support the website, please check us out on Patreon.
Go over to patreon.com. Give us $1 or $2 so that Cole can keep the website up and running.
Yeah. But yeah, the demo deck tournament is super cool. I've been working on some stream graphics you'll get to see on Sunday, and some different things. And Blue Oak TV has been putting together our like JSON files for the stream and everything. So we've been putting work into it, and should be very good. But it is a big test to see how BGA handles that many players.
yep.
Surprisingly, it did not crash BGA entirely for the signups, so that's a good sign.
It's important as well, especially considering the world qualifiers.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
they
that's
will
why
have
this
the
is
world
the
qualifiers
test.
on BGA.
I was going to say, I remember, so Keyforge, when Keyforge was supposed to have its first world championships, there was a major global pandemic sweeping across the world. So we actually ran it online. Boy, did we crash that thing. Yeah.
Was this the Crucible still?
Yeah, this is still the,
Oh, God.
So at the time, the Crucible Online was open source, so somebody actually like basically took it and like made a few changes to it and made it their own. But they're like, yep, we're gonna have this big. We called it Shadow Worlds, right? Because it wasn't technically Worlds, but we were running basically the same format. Worlds at that point was going to be a team event, right? So Keyforge team events consisted of one person played Archon, one person played Sealed, and one person played Short Adaptive.
Ryan?
Nope, it was Short Adaptive. Regardless of what any of those are, basically you had 3 different formats being played. You had to take best 2 out of 3 games. So that was actually kind of fun. I know Magic does something kind of similar to that. I don't know if they're just running 2-headed giant or what are they doing? I forget what they do. But team events could definitely, because Altered is very nationality driven. I feel like more than any other card game I think I've ever played before, except for maybe Magic.
Yeah, for sure.
That could be a fun little thing, U.S. versus France versus Belgium, that could be a very kind of a cool thing to do on like BGA, right? Get some teams. Has Altered formed teams yet? I guess I'm not very like.
Yes.
I'm in the scene, but I ain't in the scene.
Yes, I am technically on a team. I'm like the honorary clerical worker, secretary of the team. Also, what you explained is something that some of us are working on, a Altered Team League championship event. And maybe you'll see it eventually. I think I'm just going to let Spaghetti Altered do all of the work. But I've wanted to do something like that for a long time. So
it is, I will tell you this, when it comes down to like the nationalities thing, super cool. Giant pain in the ass. When you're talking about like time zones and stuff like that, that's the biggest thing is like, especially when it comes to European countries, like, well, when it's 7 a.m. here, it's like 9 p.m. over there, right? So like I got to get up extremely early. They got to stay up a little later maybe than they're normal to. It becomes a struggle.
We still have not finished the rotisserie draft entirely for that reason.
Yeah.
Now we are at the adventure pass.
Now we're to the new adventure pass. So the new adventure
Before
pass.
I go to that,
okay, go. Have at it.
Wanted to mention. So the demo deck thing. Other card games that I know of does something similar to that. And I'm speaking for University because that's the one that I work with most of the time. they sometimes do something called a throwdown, which over at some regional events they used to do before the pandemic, they would have some of the staff members be in the locale, the actual location venue of the event. And as a side event, players could play against them. And their deck is full of never before seen cards. So the fact that they did this demo deck idea with a bunch of Whispers of the Maze cards that we hadn't seen before was actually pretty cool.
Yeah. I do have some extra insight on that actually. This has been in the plans for so long. Not specifically just like the tournament part, but having these demo decks on BGA and having them have new cards, that they were very specifically picked cards that went into the decks to showcase. That's usually how a demo deck works. It's not a fine-tuned deck. It doesn't even have the right number of rares, but it's to show off the cards. But these were all also cards that were then not given to creators for reveals.
So and this is the kind of the cool thing too is no matter where you are in Altered, right? I mean, obviously good players are good players for a reason, but gives everybody the opportunity on an equal playing field, right? And that's something I still admire about this game, is something that they strive for, is to kind of try to give everybody the same experience on a somewhat equal playing field.
Yeah, for sure. And when we were doing things like the charity stream, which if you're listening and I have to ship something out to you, that is my number one priority after this weekend. And I survived this weekend. I have it all in a box ready to go and everyone's addresses, but we made sure like, oh, we can't show this card because this is a creator reveal. We can't show too much of this card because it's in the demo deck or things like that. So it was really nicely coordinated. That is part of the reason as well why there weren't as many creator reveals this time around.
Yeah, we're not cool enough again.
Yeah, I mean, you missed you weren't even there for our reveals today. Where were you at?
I don't know.
At work,
probably at work.
Working.
Where I normally am at work.
Yeah, but
that's where I live. It's my other home, as I like to call it. I keep telling my boss, if you'd put a shower up, I could just live here.
I think your family might miss you.
Yeah, they'd be all right with me. They might for a little while, after maybe like every couple of weeks, they'd be like, all right, can you come home? I'd be like, all right. And then they get sick of me real quick. But are we ready to talk about this Adventure Pass?
Yeah, what do you want to tell us about
this thing looks dope. So, Season 3 Whispers of the Maze promo boosters take you through the labyrinth with cycle of alternative art cards. The 6 characters from the Myth of Thesis and the Minotaur jump into the future. Find them in the middle of fantastic Altered convention filled with references to the game.
All right, before you go any further, I want to know everyone's opinion of these alt arts that you are seeing right now as you scroll down.
Can I use foul language? Not like I'm not going to if you tell me no. Fucking dope. Love them. Big hearts.
Right.
I'm doing my big hearts.
Makes me think of the Loki alt art, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I enjoy all of these. Every last one.
I am, for as much as Wookiee is, a crass, maybe whatever they call you in Keyforge.
I'm the shock jock of Keyforge, is what I'm told.
I feel like you're the enemy of Ghost Galaxy in Keyforge.
I'm not their enemy, and like I've told people, right? I give praise when praise is due, but when you make a mistake, I will beat you to the nth degree. That's all.
So there was a handful of people who really did not like these.
Oh, why? They're so cool.
I also love them, and the one at the bottom is especially awesome because it's Pasiphae, who is the mother of the Minotaur in the myth. and she is in this art selling Minotaur plushies. It's so great.
I
Yeah.
thought the coolest one, because I don't know, maybe it was just me who noticed it. So, second one down. I'm not quite sure who it's supposed to be. It's playing a Lyra deck, I think. That could be Bravos.
The Ouroboros Croupier is playing.
That could
So it's Theseus, and I think in the like upgraded version, he's playing Lyra, but in the base version, he's playing
Bravo.
Bravos.
Yeah, I see the
Yeah.
subtle difference now. But like he's playing Baba Yaga, the upgraded one. Like his opponent's Baba Yaga, no?
Oh, I think it's the croupier.
He's actually playing the Croupier, playing against the Croupier.
Yeah.
But all of these are
he's pretty
so
sick.
cool. Like the selfie with the selfie stick with the Minotaurs. Like that is so cool. Who hates these? If you hate these, you hate fun.
Yeah. Basically.
I like them all. I think they're so cool.
Yeah,
I actually,
agree.
to be honest with you, if you could foil just these, like I don't even want the actual, like the cards I'm sure are very cool, but like even these just to have, like if you could just put like the name card on them and make them textless full arts, that'd be pretty
You know what's cool as well? The very first row, the regular version, the booster pack that's flying around is Beyond the Gates. But if you look at the upgraded one, is a Kickstarter one.
Oh yeah, totally is.
Oh yeah,
that
that
was
is
pretty cool too.
Yeah. I love them. And if you want to scroll quickly down, you'll also see the landmark alt
Yeah, the
arts, which
landmarks. I am in love with this art style. Like I don't know who they got to do this, but that super cool. Again, every last one of them is super cool. I know a lot of them are just like small art changes, like color palette swaps and whatnot, but still very cool.
Yep. Good thing with Altered is every card has the artist's name on it. So these landmarks are by Victor Kent.
Are all of them by him? Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Every last one. Super cool. I mean, I know there's not much change in most of them. I think the only one that really changes is what is it, the fourth one down? Where you just have a field and then you have like glowing cabbages. Oh no, you got an additional farmer. The other ones, I don't know. Maybe I gotta look into. Let's see. You've got all right, guitar pumpkin, sweet. I think all the other ones are just color swaps. No, just palette swaps. To their appropriated faction.
It's a little bit. I think there are differences in each one, but most of them go from like day to night.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that the Muna one does have a little more variance. The Lyra one kind of does too, because the spires change.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one's more fireworks, and then okay, I see that.
Yeah. So there are little key details there, which is awesome.
Yeah, all these are super cool. Like this makes me want to like go find a place to go like and get these because I like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I like it. All right, what do we got next? All in the the Altered blog. Let's see, Adventure Pass. Yeah, Whispers from the Maze design. You want to take us through this one again, Cole?
Yeah, so I'll kind of just give an overview of it, but basically, the point of Trial by Frost was not to completely rewrite the game, and was more for just adding, just a little more ideas that they were playing with, and give some support for heroes that were underplayed. But for Whispers from the Maze, and I absolutely think you can already tell this. One, it's a larger set, and it also has more of a developed complete system when you add it into the other two. And they talk about how they wanted to add more removal options to lessen some of the more powerful uniques. And then they talk about the hunger and things like that. But it's really a lot about how they're adding a lot more and kind of opening up as a design team. Because they feel that the first two sets kind of got people, in and learning the game. And now they can kind of get a little more experimental with the design space. They talk about specific cards and things like that, which you can read on the blog if you want. And then they do mention that a ongoing design struggle for the team has been working around heroes like Arjun and Lindaway. And while they can create specific cards to support their playstyles, other heroes within their faction can simply use the same cards more effectively. And that is why neither hero are in Whispers from the Maze limited play. And that's why Lindaway has not been included in a set since Beyond the Gates. But that is something that they're obviously looking to work on. And they mention a note here that they were experimenting in Whispers from the Maze, a way that allowed Auroch players to manipulate top cards of the deck. And it turned out to be way too powerful and was providing 8 and 9 mana cards for free regularly. So
I figured that it's a slippery slope for that one.
yeah,
That's a bad thing. Oh,
too much maybe. I will say I think Auroch is the deck I am most excited to build in Whispers from the Maze. While they had that was obviously too OP, there's a lot of really cool things for her in Whispers from the Maze. And then at the end of the design here, they just talk about how tournament rules are still in development. Tournament rules technically do exist, but they were kind of like a quick release thing for PAX Unplugged and other events. And then we should get the comprehensive rules for Whispers from the Maze before the pre-release. Last I heard is they're done. They're just going through like final editing and grammar and wording and all of that checks.
got it. Nice. So what are you most excited to see in Whispers from the Maze? Like you, Cole, you said you're like really like Auroch's like your jam. Don't know how I feel about
Auroch's
that, but
super fun.
here
I'm
we
really
are.
enjoying the Auroch demo deck. I love drawing the cards. This new landmark that makes your 7-cost characters cost less is super cool. I really like the adding. Or yeah, Atsadi, wrong name. Auroch sucks.
Yeah.
I like Atsadi. I'm enjoying this demo deck. I really like the boost mechanic for boosting characters in reserve and the whole sap thing.
Felix?
I haven't played much with augmenting just because I don't really like Axiom, but augmenting looks like there could be some cool abilities there.
Mm-hmm.
What about Felix?
I've mostly been playing Lyra so far, but the way that they've built it, focusing a lot on the Nevenka rolling dice all the time, is very fun. Now, the randomness that comes with it is something else. I think I've played the demo deck like 4 times, and I've rolled probably a 1 like 3 times in every single game. So that's kind of rough.
Yeah,
But
not
other than
having the
that,
martingale is rough.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
really, really rough. Other than that, though, just seeing how what people can play, the boost from the reserve is really throwing my math off. So that's pretty cool because it has you playing a different way. Because I haven't seen, at least through the games that I've been playing, support abilities that require you to discard cards yet. It's all been in the constant support ability, at least in the demo decks, which is different, like really different.
Yeah, most of them. There are some really cool ones, but in Lyra specifically, most of them are just gaining boosts in
Yeah.
reserve. I don't remember if there are any that do something else. There is some manipulation there with like if you have a boosted character out in
Yeah, there's a
play,
lot of those.
it discounts artists, things like that. So there's
Mhm.
more like if
The
you're making an
tribal that tribal design space that they're going with is interesting as well. So I'm
Mhm.
curious. I just hope it doesn't make that deck building type very monotonous. But we're gonna see how that goes.
Mm.
Because there's a lot of artists right now and songs.
Mhm.
Yep.
You think that the band will have a place in Lyra? All
Oh,
those
yeah,
the
for sure.
guitarist and the bassist.
Absolutely.
Probably, very likely. What I'm really excited for is a tech lab, but it's not even a Lyra card. But that's another discussion.
Yeah, that's gonna be
It's gonna be
very
everywhere.
good in Fen because Fen doesn't even need landmarks right now.
Yeah,
That's a very good one for how Fen plays right now.
yeah. But it's not even a Lyra card. So, and even then, the Wayfarer is a really, really fun card.
Yeah.
It makes me
I
want
don't-
to try and build a deck that just focuses on rolling dice all the time. It just seems
Yeah, I
fun.
think the way to make it work is if you also have the Bastion that lets you roll 2 dice, because hoping that you flip the same number is a pretty low chance there.
Yeah, I need to check on the rulings on how that would work. If rolling the two dice and you picking the dice comes first before the reveal, or the reveal happens when you roll them. I'm curious about that
Mm,
one. We'll see.
Have not tested that because that is not in the demo
not
decks.
testable.
But
Yeah, and I'm not sure if BGA, because the BGA does have still some very small amounts of bugs. So I'm curious how
Yeah.
it's going to perform that particular trigger, because they're not in limbo, any of them. All those abilities are constant abilities. So I'm curious how that's going to work out.
one of the other things I've been doing to prepare for the tournament on Sunday is anytime someone mentions there might be a bug with the demo decks, I immediately go and try to find it and recreate it so I can submit a bug report because 90% of the time someone will say something's a bug or complain about a bug and not do anything.
Yeah.
And 50% of the time it's not a bug, they misunderstood. And the other 50% means that there's still not a bug report. So I've been playing a lot of those decks just so I can make sure there are no actual bugs. One that I think is a bug, unless there's a rule clarification or change that comes in 3.0, is because of the nature of demo decks and showing differences. There are both common and rare Wayfarer in Navenka's deck. And if you
Yeah.
have both in play, they counteract each other. And rules is written and how I read the cards, I don't believe that should be
Yeah,
the
you should be
case
able
currently.
to pick to either to
Yes.
you should be able to pick which one to trigger, but Board Game Arena automatically picks the common for you.
Yep. So
Yeah, I can see why. And I can see why maybe in the code it might be something tricky they need to work with. It's the
And
fact
the
that the
rare
rare
one
one.
does say you may tap it, and then the common one says you have to draw it. So maybe they're
Yeah,
just like, well, one is a may trigger, one is a have to trigger, so that it just
yeah,
automatically does the have to
yeah.
trigger,
One will
which
require
is
you as an
incorrect based
action.
on the
Yeah,
rules.
yeah, because one of them requires you to tap it as part of an action you need to make. So I'm wondering if the coding doesn't really consider that into account right now.
I did it thanks to a game against Dexter, and I submitted a bug report.
Yep.
And I also double checked in the judge Discord to see if a game designer chimes in, and we'll go from there. But in the blog, the next part is like about hero balance and patch notes and how there's no new added watch list stuff, which in my opinion you can read. The next interesting part to me is the Tumult Championships and how those
Mhm.
went.
I was gonna say whoa, but you actually didn't skip what I thought it was.
No.
What interests you in the Tumult Championships? I didn't really find anything too like that jumped out at me and grabbed
Just
me.
the cards that are revealed, the Kurokamis.
Oh, was that it? Your Kurakamis?
Yeah.
No, I was
You get-
talking about the future tumult.
Oh, okay.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah, so they do talk about how they are pleased about how they came together, and they're taking feedback and looking to change the next set, which will happen July 26th to September 7th. Is that right? That seems. Oh, I'm so dumb. Disregard me. It's late. They are talking about changing their rewards, and I think this is
Yeah, and the adventure
based.
pass,
What?
right?
No, the
in the
tumult
adventure
rewards.
pass.
No, the tumult rewards.
The Tumult rewards. Tumult Championships, Dexter. Keep up.
Yeah. So
You did
I
bring to the
think
attention that is true. The Adventure Pass rewards are changing a little bit too.
yes, that is also a change. But for the tumult, I think this is a direct response to feedback, and I think there's a split right now. Well, basically, in the tumults that we just finished for Trial by Frost, if you were the top place in your faction, you got a oversized, thick card that says like Muna Scout or Ortis Scout or whatever, and it had the alt art for that faction's character from the season. I have one sitting behind me. It's super cool. It's part of my like stream background, but a percentage of the community did not like that they were not playable. So the future rewards will be playable and possibly similar to what is included with the World Championship um, prizing. I think this is honestly kind of unfortunate to me. Um, I get how people want like their rewards to be playable, but to me, it feels like what every other TCG is doing out there, and it's just a card with like a little stamp on it. Like that's
Yep.
what Star Wars does. I have a couple judge cards. I think I have like a top 8 card, and they're kind of lame to me. But that's what people prefer, so that is probably what's going to happen for the next tumults.
I mean,
Well, they need to
Some
release maybe
people
in the
like them.
future.
They're going to get more use than just a piece of cardboard. So I'm fine with this change.
But it would be
I mean,
cool, I
it's
think.
probably less cool, but you can at least play it.
What I think would be cool, but I'm not sure they're going to do or even listen to this, is have lenticular cards that they change from the rare to the common version, but it's just pure decoration.
Like when you rotate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think that Altered usually does a lot better on their promo cards and like promo arts than other TCGs. But in the end, it does feel like just everything else. But a lot of people wanted them to be actually playable. And then I think what Dexter was mentioning on the Adventure Pass is going forward and starting in Whispers from the Maze, you'll get a full play set of whatever the card reward is. Because before, you only got one based on other things, blah, blah, blah. And people were really upset with that because you most commonly put 3 copies of a card in your deck.
most of the time.
Most of the time, indeed.
Most of the time.
Not always.
The next thing no, actually, I'm sorry. Well, anything in future design that anything jumped out to anybody?
I mean, there's talk of like hoping to see dual types such as landmark or character. They talk about how we have seen two factions in the lore that are not in the game, being the Lost Tribe that never made it to Asgartha and the Exiles who left Kerados and were never heard from again.
Or were they? No, I'm just kidding. Yes, they have not been, but maybe.
Maybe, yeah. They talk about how out of faction cards, or oof cards as we call them, are kind of hard to keep on theme and keep balanced. And then they just mention how the low cost meta is not something that needs to be changed, because one of Altered's main themes is the back and forth play style. And if the game style shifts more heavily towards larger characters, that reduces the number of potential actions, making turns less interesting.
There was something in here, and I don't remember which section it was, but it spoke about the villain for the next set.
Let's see. If I just
Was that in Team-Ult Championships?
Control F.
Here it is.
Villain.
I found it. The playmat, we have also linked to the villain for this expansion, which is interesting because traditionally, like past two expansions, have we really had a villain?
No, but we definitely have one for this one.
Yeah. I like
We
villains.
have a whole lore section on a previous episode, an episode title dedicated to said villain.
He's the villain?
Yeah.
Yes. At face
One
value.
of the villains.
Yeah. I think
There are other parasites as well.
Yeah.
But why are they the villains? I think they're just misunderstood.
They're parasites. They're infiltrating the normal people.
Well,
I
I mean,
mean
brothers gotta eat, right? Like, like...
Well, they did kill Basir's family and Afanis'
But was that
dad.
on... That wasn't on... Was that on purpose?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
So
very much.
So that was straight up murder, huh?
Straight up murder.
No, okay,
but
well...
I mean, it could be something else revealed.
there's two sides to every story, Cole. That's all I'm saying.
True.
You don't know their side and what all
Maybe
happened.
Basira's family did something to them first.
Maybe. You don't know. I'm just saying. There's two sides to every story. I found the villain, the villain thing, like linked to the villain. And I kind of like, in my heart of hearts, I knew that's where that was headed. Right?
Yeah.
But like, I was like, ooh, a villain, right? We haven't really had a villain. Like, everything's been about, like, I was like, I didn't know Waru was in this expansion. But anyway.
Yeah, there are technically a lot of villains in Altered. You just would have to read more into the lore to know them. Like, fun fact, the Ma is not really a great companion. So Lindway and Ma, it's not a relationship like the other heroes and their companion.
A little abusive.
Yeah, maybe a lot, but
well, I mean, a little and a lot are two. I mean, those are both two sides of the same coin of how you view things.
Yeah,
who's abusing who though?
Yeah,
that's the question.
Read the lore. The rest of the recap, it touches on the judge program, which they've kind of talked about a lot. It is in the works. There's a judge Discord.
I do like that finally, like, there's something, like, I feel like this is something that CCGs is, like, kind of...
Take a long time to do?
Either take a long time or, like...
Lord Kana still doesn't have a judge program?
Yeah, like they don't do it at all. Well, that's not really that crazy. Like there's no. I don't think there's a judge program for a lot of games.
3 or 4 years.
But
right?
yeah, but is there a judge program for Keyforge?
Marcus and G.
Yeah, they are not the judge program. Like there is no judge program for a lot of games. I know Pokemon has one.
Yeah,
Magic
Pokemon has a really good one.
Yeah, Magic has one. I know the big three have them basically, but beyond that, is there one for like unlimited? I don't. As far as I know, no.
There is, and I am
It's
a apprentice judge in Star Wars Unlimited.
Is there a program though that like you can sign up for?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
there is. Okay.
Yeah, it is. It is newer. So
Because that was something like FFG always talks about every time they release a CCG, but then they end up killing the CCG before they get there.
Mhm.
Like I remember
So-
Destiny, they were talking about it, and then like
oh gosh,
they're
Destiny.
like, never mind, because we're just getting rid of Destiny. Like,
Yeah. So the Dallas planetary qualifier I did last year. That was like a month or two after the judge program for Star Wars started. So at that time, it was basically only apprentice level was even possible.
okay,
Now I think they have like L1, maybe L2. I'm not sure. I didn't keep up too much with it.
but like,
yeah,
is there
Cedric's been great.
Felix? You play Universes, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Is there a judge program for that game?
It's actually in the works too.
Yeah, and that game has been around for fucking ever.
Yeah, it's almost 20 years.
I mean, you got to go way
What does it know
back.
about it?
I don't know what the original one was. The one I remember was Mortal Kombat versus.
They had Universal Fighting System. That was the
Yeah.
first name.
Right. And then like I said, I remember oh man,
The very first set that released was Street Fighter and Soul Calibur 3.
but I remember more. The first one I remember was Mortal Kombat, and I remember who came out with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat came out actually almost 15 years later.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Woof. Okay, never mind. Don't mind me. I'm dumb.
But it doesn't have an actual judge program either. It had a scout program, which is organizers and demoers and stuff like that. But there was no actual judge program, no.
Yeah, I just feel like there needs to be more of that in card gaming. Otherwise, it just leaves shit up to interpretation. And
Kind of like Cole mentioned, Pokemon does a really good job with it.
No,
if you look at
Pokemon does,
their tournament regulations PDF, it's very impressive. It goes over literally everything you can expect from a tournament organizer and a judge, and it goes through penalties and what type of penalties you can assign, examples of penalties and rulings, and the core mechanics of being a judge and so on. So that's the stuff I would like to see more often.
Yeah, I would agree with you. So, but I thought that was cool that they're actually gonna, again, this early in the life cycle, and they're thinking about, actually doing a judge program, which is pretty big. I don't know if we've had any major rules questions yet that like there was like, oh, like somebody had to make up a ruling on the fly because there was an interaction that wasn't foreseen.
There's some couple of timing rules that I think are important to know. Like, for example, Tasia, her ability doesn't go into limbo. It happens right before anything happens.
Mm.
And that triggers a bunch of really weird stuff afterwards.
Okay.
It's like the Tasia with the Spindle Harvesters and Yeti combo. It works because the Spindle Harvesters already comes in with a boost, and it just triggers a bunch of stuff after that.
'Tis interesting.
Yeah, I think we figure out a lot of the stuff before it comes up at events. That's where BGA is also really good, because if we see something that doesn't seem right, or just having access to so many games played, it's either a bug report or a question like, hey, is this how it should work? But yeah, they say that the plan is to have like a 1.0 version for the early qualifier events, and then like a 1.1 version by August, September. I am working on like a judge, not necessarily a quiz, but kind of like note cards kind of thing to just help keep judges trained and stuff. And I hope to have that before Gen Con so I can share. It just has like, I mean, I could pull it up right now and I could see if I have a good question to quiz you with. Let's see.
I will fail immediately.
I should know the answer because I'm going to be a judge at Gen Con. Let's hope I don't mess it up.
Yeah, let's
see.
test Dexter.
I won't give you the really hard one. But does exhausting a card that is already exhausted trigger Nilam, the Withering Tree?
I would say no, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I don't think, though, it should, because you're not exhausting it because it's already exhausted.
What? Okay, so how is Nilam the Withering Tree worded?
So after you exhaust a card, you can tap the tree to then make a moth token. But you're not exhausting it if it's already exhausted.
What is
so I'm
the
gonna say you're not able to
what
tap
is
it.
the exact wording, though? Hold on. Because that's important.
The exact wording is, when you exhaust a card in reserve, you may exhaust me to create a Mana Moth 2/2 illusion token in target expedition. And then it has a from anywhere, but we don't have to worry about that for this example.
So it's not when a card is targeted, it's when a card is actually exhausted.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be when I
exhaust it. Because
it can be either your own or your opponent. So exhausted resupply would count as exhausting your own card in reserve, and you could trigger it from that.
And that would make sense.
Yep.
But if you're targeting a card that is already exhausted, would that trigger it? And I would say, based upon my very limited knowledge, I would say no.
I would say no as well.
The answer is, if an effect tells you to exhaust target card in reserve, you can choose a card that's already exhausted. However, it cannot re-exhaust. Therefore, if the rest of the effect says if you do, it will not happen.
Sounds good.
Just things like that.
So does Nilam say if you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It does say that.
No, it doesn't say if you do. It says to, which is a conditional. You may.
It's interesting, those type of wordings, because if you look at the common Garrick, for example, from Bravos,
It's got a dash.
he specifically says, if I were gain fleeting, I gain 1 boost. But then he also says, I can gain fleeting if I'm already fleeting. So that's one of the scenarios where you can apply something more than once, but it's not something that you can normally do.
True. Yep.
You can normally assign the target for fleeting. It just won't be assigned again.
Correct. You cannot give fleeting to an already fleeting character. You can target it for sure.
Yes, you can target it. It just won't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those are the fun kind of things I'm putting together to just kind of help.
Man, are you getting a paycheck yet?
Technically at Gen Con, yes.
Like, how about for like all this other stuff you're doing?
No, but I got a cool box.
Okay. Whatever makes you happy, man.
the last little note.
I hope they're showering you in product, but
the last little part is about a digital roadmap. Charles says like the marketplace in print on demand was a huge undertaking, so it's taking a little time for them to celebrate. But after that, there's a lot of projects to work on, like the World Championships, and Equinox will communicate on a future digital roadmap soon. And it says the survey filled out by early testers of Marketplace included a set of priority goals for the development team, and that's what they've been choosing from to focus on next. And then going forward from Whispers from the Maze, new marketing outreach will be done with influencers, streams, and social media.
Ooh, are we an influencer?
Yeah, I would say to their credit, they're really good at staying engaged with the community. I would say one of the areas where there's maybe a little bit of a blind spot for them is podcasts and Twitch streams.
In community, in community, actual people doing things for their game. Yeah, I would say so.
No, just those two. They are very well connected with all the others. But that is something that is being.
So what you're saying is we got to put on cameras and actually put a video on somewhere.
I think
if we want them to pay attention to us, probably.
No, I think you misunderstood what I said.
All right, I'm listening. Well, re-explain.
Yes, we also want them to get more interested in the podcast.
For the knuckle draggers that I am.
I said before now, I think their blind spots were Twitch streams and podcasts. Going forward, they're working on changing that, and they have some things like working with Twitch, and I won't say that I'm helping make a list, but I am. So
again, with this paycheck thing, are you getting one? Like, oh my god, dude.
That's why I said I'm not saying it so that you can't say that.
Like, how much free work are you giving to this company?
A lot.
It's all for fun, for love of the game.
It's for something, man. I'll tell you what, I did a lot of free work for Keyforge way back in the day. You know where it got me? Nowhere.
The #1 Keyforge podcast?
Well, I mean, we are, but that's just because I say weird things that nobody expects you to say, so it's for a totally different reason.
Well, before we wrap up here, do you want to answer a Patreon question?
Let's do it. What does Draconis have to ask me this week?
Oh, do you want me to ask a Draconis question or a Chili question?
Oh, either one's fine. Let's do one of each. How about that? Does that sound good?
Chili's other one that we haven't answered is, I mean, I feel like we've answered it a different way on a different cast.
Okay.
We'll see if we can answer it quickly.
All right.
Thoughts on how the community can get involved in supporting Altered at future conventions, and are Altered wanting to endorse this support?
Wait. How can we get involved in supporting Altered?
Yeah, as
like
a community.
At community events.
At community events, boy, that's actually kind of a tough one.
That's what I said.
There's not much we can do, just like participate in what's already there, right?
I mean, showing up,
try to get other people to join,
deal, right?
Yeah. So the way that I would answer this is what you guys said. Invite people. You know, if an event is happening in your area and you can attend. Beyond that, if you really want, there are very often conventions that have like open submissions for certain things, like panels or running a game or something like that. Like Blue, I think, has done 1 or 2 conventions where he just reached out to them and was like, hey, can I come teach people how to play Altered there? And then went and did it. In Utah, the conventions kind of suck, and the people who own them kind of suck. But maybe you could see about doing something with FanX, or maybe I think Anime Bonsai died. I don't remember. One of the anime conventions died, but maybe one of the littler conventions. And then, are they wanting to endorse it? I think you guys joined the Hive, which is the first step to really doing all of that. So yeah, that's it. And then just keep an eye out for events, and if you can make it. We have a lot of fun at the conventions. It's a good time.
Yeah, convention's probably a good idea as well as have people be cosplaying at those booths.
Yep.
Like actual characters from the game.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to,
Cosplay's good.
yeah, if you want
You
to
just need people to
cosplay,
do them.
yeah, if you want to, you'll probably be able to get invited pretty easily. So right now there are not very many altered cosplayers. I want to say I know of 4 right now. I think that's about it. Maybe 5. Yeah, 5. I would say 5.
I can't say I cosplay much. I will lie to no one on that forefront.
I cannot
but-
either.
I
would love to play
how-
dress up, but I don't want to make the outfit. That's too much work.
There are people who take commissions. If you pay them money, they'll make you a cosplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also love how Nick joined right after I finished answering a question and talking about Utah. So now you'll have to listen to the recording because Draconis's question is hype level for this next set: more, less, or equal to the previous?
I think more.
I don't know, like the fact that there's a villain. I don't know.
It's dark and doomy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly what Wookiee wanted.
It is what I wanted. I don't know if I'm more hyped for it though. Like I feel like I'm still kind of in that same boat, right? And I really haven't gotten to experience. You guys probably have, but like it feels fast, doesn't it?
Yeah, I kind of am not ready for this new set, almost. Like, I was super invested in seeing all the spoilers for Trial by Frost, and then all the WFM spoilers have already happened, and it's like I missed it completely, and now I'm having to catch back up. I was, like, not ready for it.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it went really fast, right? And it was like, all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, it's here. You know, so I don't know if I was prepared, and that might be because being involved in 2 games is, especially at a high competitive level, is super difficult. And maybe one day Chili will get his wish, and I will leave Keyforge. I don't know.
Maybe.
It seems to me, or at least it feels to me like it's Alter's villain arc type of thing.
I do love a good
Beyond
villain.
the Gates.
I do love a good villain arc.
Beyond the Gates felt to me like it was like a fun introduction. Then you have Trials by Frost, which was like cute set because it's like cute art and so on. But now you have Whispers of the Maze when it's dark, and you have a supposed villain, and you have all these weird abilities.
Who's a little emo-y.
And parasites and all that stuff. No,
We still
coming
have
on.
Sap, though. Sap is kind of anti-emo.
I think the sap. I'm concerned with the sap, but I've already said that.
You think it's gonna corrupt people or something?
Well, okay. I mean, I feel like I've said this, but I get that the Bravos are cooking with it, but Axiom is powering machines with it. I don't go around chugging gasoline.
I mean, don't yuck somebody's yum. That's all I'm saying, right?
I'm just saying, maybe this is a vaping situation. When vapes first came out, everyone was like, "Oh, this is so much better than smoking. This is gonna help people stop smoking." And I was like, "That's probably no, I don't trust that. That's gonna be terrible." And then turns out it's probably worse than smoking. So I think that maybe the sap's
that's
do
yet
something.
to be determined on the vaping front. But I want the sap to be some sort of like Borg shit, right? Like it assimilates you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm concerned.
Because that would be cool as fuck. What if the sap is the reincarnation of the lost tribe?
Weird.
And they all formed into some sort of weird thing, and now they have to take other people's bodies. I feel like I'm writing a Star Trek episode right now. They have to take everybody's bodies
the blood of something
through like the ingestion, and they can take over bodies and machines through this sap.
Do you want to know a weird piece of lore?
Sure.
The Ortis are basically a hive mind. And so
the Ortis are the Borg.
Did I not talk about this on an episode?
We did not, no.
No, you have.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I know about it, the hive
talked-
mind at least. I'm pretty sure you've
talked
talked
with
about it before.
someone. Yeah. But there are parasites, right? And the concept of the parasites is that there is one placed in every faction. So in Muna, it's Saskia. In Ysmir, there's now Silas. Who there was one other, but I can't remember if we know their name. But it's basically been stated that they've put these parasites into each faction to watch over them and kind of try to cause trouble. If there's one in Ordis, doesn't that mean that parasite has outreach to all of Ordis?
Yeah, probably.
You're getting some philosophical shit now, Cole.
But yeah. Anyways,
it's just how hive minds works.
There's actually been some more dark stuff in the lore of Altered, just more stories you have to read than present on the cards. I think Whispers from the Maze is a tiptoe into that, but I think the set after might actually be when shit hits the fan. But I don't know.
This does seem like a prelude to something.
To specifically answer the question, I think I'm more excited to build decks from cards revealed with Whispers from the Maze. I really did like Trial by Frost, and I thought some of the mechanics and how they just felt like you were in a frozen tundra was super cool. But I am very excited for the.
I'm more interested to see, like, because I really, and I've hoped for this in a lot of games. You want to be able to see every hero do well. Right? Like, it's super boring, even in faction, right? Like, it's super boring to be like, oh, this is like, even now, it's like, you know, when they talked about the team ults, like, they were like, oh, no surprise, it was Ysmir and Ortis.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like, yep, no one was shocked, right? Like, that hasn't been figured out, but like, man, I just really want them to, like, I don't know, balance it out a little bit more. I would really like to see every faction become just as viable as every other faction. And I feel like with every set, we get a little closer.
I think this set will help on the hero front. I think what they pointed out in the article, like Arjun specifically, there are hypothetically a lot of cards that could be very good for Arjun this set. I think the majority will still play Tasia. But Ghoulring, Atsari, Arok, Subash, Sierra, like all of them I think are going to do a lot better this set. But Axiom is still going to be on the bottom. Ha!
You don't sound sad about it. Yeah,
I actually have no qualms against Axiom. I just thought it was funny.
Well, you can't be angry at the people who suck, right? Like it's like being angry at the Bears. Like, no, that doesn't happen. But yeah, I want to see like just that gap closed, right? Like where Ortis and Aphanis, Ortis and Ysmir aren't like, and don't get me wrong, love me some Ysmir and I love me some Lyra, but man, like make everything super competitive. And just, I mean, if that means you got to make some
everyone's competitive, no one's competitive.
Correct. But if everyone's competitive, it comes down to a player skill balancing, right? And you can't balance player skill, but like, do you know what I mean in this scenario? Like, if everyone's competitive,
it's not possible to balance not 16. What? There's 18 heroes? It's not possible to balance all of them.
Maybe not all 18 heroes, but like balance at least out the factions, right? I mean, you're always going to have one hero that kind of comes to the forefront, but at least have the factions balanced, right? Make it more of a rock paper. I don't even know if I like the idea of like a rock paper scissors. Like, Lyra beats Ortis beats Muna beats Ysmir beats Axia, and that weird it's like, oh, because it just makes bad matchups for you, which kind of sucks to play against. I went up against it this past weekend, right? My deck was just a bad matchup in the finals against the deck I was going up against. It sucked to play.
Yep.
Right? It was terrible. Right? I basically got to sit there and watch my opponent play. That's not fun.
I would say factions currently are very well neck and neck besides Axiom, and I think that
Axiom is really
I still don't feel like they're neck and neck. I feel like there are two clear-cut winners.
Yeah.
That's because more people don't play Fen.
Well, okay, fair. But I feel like it's like Ortis, Ysmir, right? Lyros, Bravos, Muna, then Axiom.
You got it in the wrong order, but
the order was not relevant there, right? But like you have two very much at the top of the hill, and then you've got three factions that are kind of like, so like you got your S, and then you got your A, and then you got, however you want to phrase that, your F, right? Yeah, and then you have your like, I'm just here for the lulz guy, right? So I want more balance. See. I want more, just print something busted for Axiom. I mean, what's the harm? They ain't doing nothing anyway.
Make Axiom great.
And just give them something a little busted.
I think they'll do really well next set. We'll see, though.
Oh, so you heard it here first. Axiom will do very well next set.
Mm-hmm.
Because Cole knows everything.
True.
Just like Arok was all of a sudden, now meta.
Arok's always been meta. What do you mean?
I don't know about all that.
Did you not?
I would love to see you try and play Arok. Cole.
Did you not see Freeloader basically go undefeated the other day?
No,
Arok?
I didn't.
Yes.
In what tournament?
AQZ or no, Wednesday AWOL, I think. I don't know if the 39 cards is up yet. I don't remember where he landed.
I'll wait for that.
He was doing very good. He has a pretty well-tuned Arok, and
you got to run those winter outfits.
But we'll see. I think next set will be interesting.
Only time will tell.
Yep.
Indeed.
Ortis will forever be oppressive fascist regime. And with that, it's time to go to bed because I have to wake up early tomorrow to cast all day.
Agreed. But with that being said, make sure you go check out Cole over on his Twitch stream. You're still doing your Twitch streaming of things and stuff, right?
Sometimes I end up more often on the Altered Corner Twitch lately, but
there you go. Let's go check them out over on Twitch. You can check us out over on Blue Sky, Twitter, Facebook, all the places. Archons Corner or Altered Corner. Make sure you check out the Facebook. Check out the Patreon over at patreon.com/Altered Corner. Help, we're just, Loco Nico's just like, no, but I don't know what that's all about. Well, we'll figure it out later. But it is time for us to go to bed. With that being said, we will see you all next week.
Later, Tolarian Skater.
Nighty-night.